Okay, so we take off and we go to Angola. We arrive in the capital city, Rwanda, and I suddenly found myself fearful. I thought, wait a minute. Okay, I noticed that most of the people on the flight are either uh, the diplomatic corps, or the executives from the minister's office, and then the media people. So for me to go on a tour visa or as a guest to somebody who is not known, and my friend Janet definitely was not going to be there at the airport. She said she wouldn't go. She lived quite far actually. And then it turned out that my friend too, the other guy, Tesse, was also not in town that particular day. So he just sent a driver, but even they were not too sure that I would get through the airport. They knew from the way things have been before that it's likely that the immigration would hold me up and try to question, what are you here for? And now that I didn't even have an invitation letter from any of them, it's like, oh, so how did you come? Well, so I landed like with all this fear. And, it's like one step at a time. And I was telling a friend of mine, I felt like this chicken that are thrown out of, an inner stall, and they've been in the dark, and then they're thrown out and they can't walk. They're kind of scared. I was like, just step by step. And there's all these media people, rushing out to take pictures of the ministry, and there are special branch people coming to invite the people arriving from Kenya, and there's a protocol line there. But I had to go a different direction, as a tourist person. And so I'm walking slowly, not too sure even what to say where. And I get at the immigration center as you get into the airport. And I realize nobody talks any other language except Portuguese. Now, thank God, a number of the media people from some of the other media classes had finished on the one side and now had to come through the same side like me, because they couldn't go through the executive lines. They now came and just entered like the ordinary, travelers. So I could hear them say some things in Swahili like, "Oh, this place is so expensive, and everything you have to say in their language." And I'm there thinking, oh dear, how am I going to answer any questions? So we go to one desk and they look at my passport, and then there are very few people. So, we get through the airport like in minutes. We go through the counter, and someone looks at my passport, then pushes me to another counter. And I'm like, oh dear, maybe I'm being pushed now into the cell room. And then that one looks at it and pushes me to another one where they're checking now the yellow fever card. And I go to that place and I'm like, oh dear, here I go now. I'm going into the cell. Then he says something like, Senora, something like that. And it's all Portuguese. So I just see, sign language, and I keep moving until I get to the conveyor belt for the baggage, for the luggages. And I'm like, oh dear. So they're telling me to get my luggage and move on to where I'll be checked as to what I'm carrying so that they can now take me to the cell. I'm just all scared, but it's within minutes we are through. And I go through the final conveyor belt, my luggage is checked through, and I find myself on the outside where, there's the reception center. And I don't even know who to look for, where to look. And all I had been told is that there would be a driver to pick me. So I look up and I see the name Sarah on a board. And so I put my hand up to this man, and he quickly comes, and he said, "Oh, Sarah, Senora, oh, come, yeah, whatever it is in again Portuguese. He can't speak English." And so I get into the car, and he's just still shocked. He himself is shocked. He said, "Oh, quick, Then he calls now Mr. Ter, who is my host to be. And Ter is like, "Auntie Sarah, you can't be through yet, are you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "What? How can that be?" And he just couldn't believe it. He just could not believe that I had made it. He said, "And you only paid $50? I said, "Yes." "And you didn't even have a visa, a letter of invitation?" I said, "Yes." "And nobody stopped you?" I said, "Nobody stopped me." Well, what do you say? This is God.